when I first joined, I had no idea how to connect with my customers one-on-one and like outside of social media. And then I started, as my customer base grew, I started to have customers who weren't on social media, or they just didn't have Facebook. They only had Instagram. So I had to make an Instagram. And then just people in general that just know I don't have social media. I don't want social media. And I had no way to keep in contact with them. Okay, well, I'll email you. And it never dawned on me early on to like do a weekly email like I do now. I feel like I'm like kind of known for emailing my customers weekly is something that I'm very consistent with doing every single week. I share my emails on all of the director share pages. I tell people to share them with their teams. So if I've ever helped you email, do emails with your customers, that's why I share them. But in the very beginning, I had no idea how to be consistent with that until I noticed that there was a banner on our workstation that said, your newsletter is ready to be edited and personalized. And my director at the time, my sponsor, she was very much into like, yes, go personalize it, share, do a screenshot how you've personalized it, share with other people so that they can personalize it like you. So that was kind of always drilled into me when I first joined anyways. This was not an optional thing. It was, nope, it's the beginning of the month, go personalize your newsletter and then share with everyone. So if you can make that a mini habit, it will help you be consistent with personalizing your newsletter. The really cool thing about the newsletter, though, is that it's optional. So at the beginning of every month, when that pops up on your banner, just make it a mini habit and be consistent right with that. If you don't want them to send it, you can totally opt out of it. It's under your account tab to opt out of the newsletters. Honestly, I have never had someone complain about, and this is someone who I do all of my follow-ups via email. I do my own weekly customer email. Scentsy sends them the newsletter, and Scentsy sends all of the other promotional emails. I have never had a customer ever in 5.5 years complain and say that it was too many emails. So if you're thinking that it's too many emails, people are going to be mad, it's just going to go to spam. That's what's really great about seeing all the stats, okay? You can actually see that people are clicking on your email. You can see what they're opening, all of those things. And we'll get into that in a minute. But yeah, so it's completely optional to have them send it and everything. One of the things that is always consistently in the newsletter, because like Sarah was saying, like it's normally for like new promos and like what's trending right now. It never fails at the bottom of every single newsletter. There is host and join information at the bottom of every single newsletter. That's where it is. And on the top and the bottom, so they can't miss it, your picture and all of your contact information is on the top of the newsletter and the bottom of the newsletter. How do I know this? Because I am subscribed to my newsletter. If you are not subscribed to your newsletter, you need to go do that. It's very easy. I did see someone ask in the chat before we got started how, like if it got moved or anything. I don't think it got moved because I immediately went and checked. If you scroll to the bottom on mobile or desktop, if you're a mobile device or desktop, scroll all the way to the bottom of your PWS, right above the Scentsy logo, where your picture is and your about me and everything. Right above that is where they can opt in for emails, or they can click on the contact me on your PWS, and they can actually check the box for subscribe to newsletter. Okay, I have had people do that. So how do you get people to subscribe to your newsletter, by the way? Make it fun. I share it on social media and in my VIP group, especially. Like I make it a game. Sometimes I'll put a hidden word or phrase in there. I will have freebies or goodies that go just to people who respond to my newsletters. And I'm not talking my weekly customer emails. I'm talking specifically about the Scentsy newsletter that goes out. Okay. So I make it like a treasure hunt, if you will. They know that that there's something in there that if they reply back to me, they get something in return. Okay. And make it a fun game. Make it a fun game for them. Do a screen share, do a screen record of how to subscribe to your newsletter. It's very easy to do it on your phone, or you can use your phone and show them your desktop of how to do it. It's really, really, really simple. There might even be really great graphics in some of the flyer groups on Facebook too, of how to subscribe to your newsletter. But I just honestly will go live, flip my phone around and show them, hey guys, this is how you do it. This is how you find out like the really special personal specials. That's what's in here. So how do I personally personalize my newsletter? First of all, the best thing that I like about this is it's an email. Email is considered one-on-one communication. So that's where your personal specials can go. You 100% can put a personal special in there. I love to put a booking incentive, or anyone who orders through a certain link kind of incentive, anything like that. If you have, maybe you have an incentive for new club subscribers because of the incentive happening right now, right? Anything like that, you can add to the personalization. And I want to say add to. I'm not a fan of deleting what Scentsy puts on there. I just add to the bottom because I feel like if you delete what they have, then none of the pictures and things that they have in the newsletter make sense. I've made that mistake before. So I just add to the bottom. There is a character like limitation. So, but it keeps you from word vomiting, which I am really good at. So it makes it to where you have to be short and sweet and simple with personalizing if you're just adding to what Scentsy has already put in that newsletter. Okay. It's very easy. Like I said, click on the banner, and when it tells you it's time to update it, honestly, if you make a habit of clicking on it the first time you see it, don't just go, oh, I have a few days to do that, because then you get really bummed when you go to edit it and you can't edit it anymore because you've missed like the deadline. But what's really cool is they send it for you regardless. They send it no matter what is going on in your life. Because trust me, I am a military wife of 20 years. I have 5 children. My oldest is graduating high school next week, and my youngest is learning how to walk. Okay. I have 5 children and we have a puppy. So sometimes life gets away from us. And if I'm not able to send my customer, emails every week, no matter what, they are going to get some kind of email from me because Scentsy is sending it for me on my behalf. Okay. Oh, I have this part because I really liked it. So yeah, you can choose to keep the verbiage that Scentsy provides. You can change it completely. Like you can go in and go, that sentence just doesn't sound like me, but I want to keep that content in there. Or you can just sprinkle your own Scentsy spirit throughout. Maybe you like what it says in there, but you want to add some emojis. You can do that. You can add emojis. You can add literally like arrows and smiley faces and all that stuff. I haven't been able to do that on my computer, but I do everything from my phone. So they totally work. And then you can preview it too. So if they don't maybe transfer properly from a mobile device to a desktop, you're going to see what it's going to look like on a desktop device when you preview it. And if you don't like how it looks, maybe the spacing looks weird to you, you can change all that stuff too. It's totally customizable. I already went over the personal specials. Okay, this is my favorite part. It's probably not a lot of people's, but I love numbers and statistics because I was trained very early on. Don't talk about it, be about it. The numbers do not lie. And when it comes to your newsletter, listen, the numbers don't lie. You are going to be able to see, first of all, the statistics that you can pull up. Everything is clickable. Everything. When you pull it up, it might not look like it's clickable. You can click on it. Everything is clickable. It's really cool because if you have your own business, to get these kind of statistics for like your emails and things like that, you have to pay for this. I think it's really cool that Scentsy does this for us for free. Or if you want to say that it's included, I mean, I would say it's included in your PWS fee, but honestly, no, because even if you don't have an active PWS, you can still partake in the newsletter. So there's that. Although I don't know how they would be able to subscribe to your newsletter now without having a PWS. But anyways, it's really cool that it's included for us, whether it's a part of the PWS fee or not, because other companies have this is an extra expenditure, and normally it's someone that they have to hire to pull all these stats and make sense of everything. All right, the make perfect sense newsletter, this part makes sense. Okay, you can click on everything, see when it was sent. Obviously you are going to see how many emails it went to. Were there any bad emails? Did they flop? And I don't mean like having to look in your sent box of your communication tab to see if they were failed. No, this all tells you in your newsletter statistics. It's all in one spot for you. It is amazing. Scentsy, please don't ever get rid of that. If there's a bad email or an email bounce back, this is a great way immediately for you to reach out to that customer. Surely you have their phone number, you can text them, or you have them on social media maybe, and you can reach out to them that way and go, hey, you know how you weren't getting any of your shipping notifications? I just saw that my newsletter bounced back from you. This is what I have. And 9 times out of 10, they're going to go, oh my gosh, no, that's supposed to be a G for Gmail and not a Q, or whatever. Or no, there's not an H in my name. I must have accidentally typed it wrong. It's a great way to start that conversation. Okay, does that make sense? It's a nice icebreaker, basically. Then you can see how many people actually opened the email, because yes, that's great that 227 of them sent, but how many of those people actually opened it, right? And I bet you're thinking like, no one even clicks on it anyways. Why am I going to personalize it? Okay, yes, go look and see how many people are actually opening it. And then on top of that, my husband, who used to be, just a side note, my husband's in the military. He's a medic for 20 years, and he did a brief recruiting stint where he did AMED recruiting. I don't know if there's any military people listening, but what was really that he thought was the coolest statistic on here, because they had to try to figure this stuff out on their own as recruiters, was it tells you what time of day they are opening their emails. And I'm sure you're thinking like, what's the big deal with that? You're seeing when your customers are actively online, when they're opening the email. Not everyone has their phone glued to us like we do, because we're always like wanting to make sure we're communicating with our customers. And if we get that, you have a PWS order email, we have our phones, they're glued to us, right? Our customers don't. So when you can see what time of day they're opening the email and when they're clicking on things and what they're clicking on, that lets you know that that's probably the best time of day to be able to market to that specific person. So if you notice a trend that everyone is typically opening these emails in the morning for you, that's probably going to be your best time for you to maybe post on social media. Maybe you notice that people are checking around lunchtime. Maybe that's when you should share on social media the most. Try it out. Look for trends, though. Look for those trends. And that's what this whole statistics page is going to show you. So like I said, you're going to see how many people opened it and what time, which is just so cool. And did they click on anything? And everything is linked on that newsletter. It all takes them straight to your PWS. So I guess that answers my question about the whole PWS thing. So don't worry about that. It takes listen, I have 5 kids. It's mom brain thing. It takes them, did they click on anything? It's going to tell you yes or no if they clicked on it, and then what that was. So like, you don't want to be like super weird and like just randomly message, hey, Sarah, I saw that you clicked on our air purifier from the newsletter. Did you want me to send you more information about that? That's really creepy. Like, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. But maybe that you saw that Julie clicked on the Bring Back My Bar stuff. And, you might want to go, or maybe she clicked on, I'm sorry, I have an example on my notes. Maybe Julie clicked on the spring bricks to see what those are about, but Julie didn't order anything. So you don't want to go, oh, well, maybe they just didn't sound good to her. Well, no, that's when maybe you might want to reach out to Julie and go, hey girl, I'm offering all of my June and July hosts a full cube of each of the spring bricks, like for free, just for booking, getting on my calendar. Like even if you book it in July, I'll send them now. Does that sound like, do you want to smell them? Like, these things are huge. Like, one cube is basically like 3 or 4 small cubes of these bricks. That's going to open a conversation and for you to have like, just to be more authentic and be more you without you saying, hey, I was pulling the statistics on my newsletter and I saw what you were looking at. Makes you kind of sound like a little bit of a creeper, a little bit. So don't be a creeper. If you notice a pattern that everyone is clicking on, maybe everyone, like, wow, like a lot of everyone who did click on something, they all clicked on the bricks. Man, my customers must really want like the bricks. Man, they're going to order all the bricks and then no orders come in. Well, maybe that tells you that that's what you should kind of start marketing a little more heavily on. So these statistics they're going to tell you when you should be sharing, what you should be sharing more of. It's just, I feel like this whole section of our workstation is very much an untapped resource that if more people knew how to utilize it, it would help them and be way more beneficial in their business. So that's what I'm hoping that you guys get from this. This one is really interesting. This is the last one. This tells you how many times they opened it. Okay, these are the people that you need to be absolutely, like if you only reach out to one group of people, like the people that you need to be reaching out to are these guys, the ones that are opening the email more than once. Maybe they're not clicking on anything, but if you see that Katie has opened the email 7 times and it just sent 2-3 days ago, yeah, I'm reaching out to Katie to be like, hey girl, I'm just reaching out to see what's going on. Like, you got your eye on anything? You know, we have all these amazing buddies that have just come out, like just start a conversation. Well, yeah, you know what? I got your newsletter and I saw those bricks and like, how big exactly are they? Girl, they're the size of my head. Like, and show her a picture. You know what I mean? Like, just those are the people, because why is she opening the email so many times? Maybe she's showing it to her husband. Maybe she's showing it to her best friend. Maybe she's showing it to her coworkers. Like, girl, you need to get with my Scentsy girl. Look at these amazing, like these things are huge. Look at these bricks. You know, like they could be referring you and you have no idea. Or maybe they're just really obsessed with Beauty and the Beast and they just were like, oh, look at that warmer. It's so pretty. Oh my gosh, I just need to look at it again. Oh my gosh, yeah. Maybe I do need to get it. No, let me look at it one more time. Yeah, I think I'm gonna get it. You know, like, but those people that are clicking on it more than one time, those are the people. Those are your people that you need to just, yes, find any reason to have a conversation with them, because I guarantee you will find out what they were looking at without even asking them. So yeah, it's pre-made. It's completely unbreakable, because that's the one thing that I tell all of my new consultants in my entire group when we're like, drop your best tip. Like literally, I tell them, click on anything in the workstation. You cannot break it. I promise. Like, I feel like we've all tried. Like, you cannot break anything on the workstation, and God forbid it does. Knock on wood. Our IT department is phenomenal, and they'll fix it immediately. But this newsletter, you can't break it. It's pre-made. It's unbreakable. It's free. It's free. Okay. You need to utilize it. It's going to tell you so much about your customers that you didn't even realize. Like, if it's got a bit in there about the air purifier promo, I never would have even thought of mentioning the air purifier to John, but he's opened the email and clicked on it 2 different times. Maybe he saw the price of it and that scared him. Well, I'm going to go talk to John about maybe doing a party and getting the air purifier for half price. And, you know, so please go just click on all the things, y'all. You can't break it. And the last thing that I have on here is create hype around your newsletter. Like I said in the beginning, make it fun. Make it like a treasure hunt, a monthly game. Do a secret word, a code, maybe even like a hidden emoji. Like if you use a bunch of emojis, like maybe be a Swiftie and like put a secret message in there. Do the different like capitalized letters. I don't know if you have that kind of time on your hands, but like if that brings you joy and that's going to make you love doing what you do, like Scentsy is my happy place. But if like you need something that's going to bring you joy and like doing stuff like that is what it is, then do that.
When you go into your workstation from your dashboard, you'll click on contacts. And then if you hover over that, you can see your normal homepage contacts, all of that. But we also have the communicate area, the communication homepage. So you can see this little breadcrumb here. So we're in the communication overview area. You can compose a message here, but the really meaty part is this newsletter section. Okay. That's where we're going to be. This is where we were looking at those statistics earlier for all of you saying, wait, where are the statistics? Where can I find those? It's on this communication overview page. So you'll see, and I have again, this is a test account, so you're not going to see all the data here, but you can have the mailing date, how many emails were sent, which ones were delivered. So just like Katrina was sharing here, and all of these you can click into. So if I click on these, they're not going to show me anything, but you click on these and it'll give you a big drill down into all of the information. It'll have their address, it'll have what they clicked, it'll have all of these fascinating statistics that you can use for your personalized follow-up. And Katrina, I love that you said that, like, don't be creepy. You just want to use that as a prompt to say, like, if they're looking at such and such, maybe that would prompt a message like, hey, just want to let you know what's going on this month. And they're like, whoa, get out of my head. That's wild. I was just looking at your newsletter. And like, I know, but you don't have to be creepy about it. So I love that. But you can see the bad email addresses, the failed email addresses, if you need to update, like Katrina was sharing, the identified visitors, unique clicks, the opens, any new subscribers that you might have. So they're brand new to it. They've never seen your stuff before. So maybe that's a person that you need to give a little extra time and attention to and let them know, what's going on in your world and in the world of Scentsy. Another cool thing here, and I hope that Zoom, sometimes Teams does this wonky, but if you preview the newsletter, can you guys see that? Okay. Can't. Okay, so I'm going to do a separate share. So just a second, let me stop my share and then I'll start a new one because I had that pop up. So once you click that preview newsletter, this is what you'll see. This is what your customers would see. So this is kind of that preview of what they would see when they open up that email from us. So you would have your information up here and there's a hyperlink that would connect to your email address if they have questions. They want to email you right back after they got this from you, right? So they could email you right back. You're going to have our hero shot, our big promotion that we're doing, which this month is the air purifier. And so you would have information there. Now these purple, hot pink, whatever color links these are, they're going to go directly to your PWS so they can shop in that area. So it will take them directly to your PWS. We also have some other things like create your happy place, see what's new, the best of spring, shop the collection. Oh, hey, there's stuff about Peter Pan on here. How'd I miss that? And then you always have parties and join opportunities down here. So it's host and join. So this is going to take them to those pages that you have set on your PWS. And then I'm here for you, man. I'm your consultant. I love you to bits. I'm here for you. Here's my stuff. You can shop my website. You can email me. Here's my picture. Yeah. Okay. And then they can unsubscribe if they want, but you have all of that information at your fingertips if you've subscribed, so you can see what that's going to look like. But also just by clicking preview, you can see if you've made any edits to those personalized areas, you can see what that's going to look like. But that is what your customer will see when they get that email. So you might be saying, okay, well, how do I learn more about this information here? So let me share my screen again. Hang on just one hot second. This is that document that I was telling you about. That's going to give you all the information about it, that makes sense for your business. Okay. So this is going to tell you when it's going to send. So just so you know, mark this in your calendar, set a reminder so you know when this newsletter is going to send. And if you want to make personalizations to it, you need to do it prior to it. Okay, so we're going to send the newsletter on your behalf automatically over the course of 3 days. And that 3 days is for any bounce back that we might get, any of those bad emails. We'll try it a few times to make sure it's going to go through. Depending on their spam filter or their email security settings, it might bounce back to us as a bad address. And so we're going to try it again. But from the second Wednesday to Friday of each month, we will send that newsletter. So starting the second Wednesday. So if I'm looking at a calendar here, the next second Wednesday that you would have is Wednesday, June 14th. So you would need to make any edits prior to when that sends. If you wanted to do the personalization, if you just want to auto send and not even mess around with it, you don't have to. It's totally fine. So I saw a couple questions when Katrina was talking about how people can even subscribe if they want to get people to subscribe. So it's going to tell you they can do it at checkout. There is an opt-in area at the bottom of your PWS. Now, this is at the very bottom of the main page. So not a join page, party page. This is the main page. And it's a big purple box and it'll say, stay in the know. And it'll say, I want to hear from Scentsy and my consultant. Type in your email address there. Okay. So this is what I showed you on the slide earlier, where these are some conversation starters or some posts or some maybe prompts. If you wanted to use these words, this copy is like a video or something. If you want to do a story or something like that, you have follow-up text, how to mention this in any emails that you send out. If you're using MadMimi, MailChimp, anything like that, you can add that in there. This is where it talks about the personalization. So if you want to personalize, it's open for editing a week before we send it. So if the next one is that second Wednesday, it's June 14th, you want to make sure that you're editing a week before that sends. Okay. And it'll tell you how to do all of that. It'll tell you how to save it, all that happy hoorah. And then if anyone wants to opt out or opt back in, this is how you can do that there. And there's a little toggle switch. So read through that information there. The name of this document is Making Perfect Sense, Make Sense for Your Business.
There was one thing that I wanted to add. If you are someone who maybe needs constant reminders, like stuff like me, I just wanted to give a quick little plug to syncing your calendar with the Scentsy calendar, because then it pops up in your calendar on your phone to go edit your newsletter. So you don't even have to see it on your workstation on the dashboard. It's in the calendar and it tells you when it's available to edit, and it tells you when it's sending. So you know that you need to edit it before it sends. So go sync your calendar with it. It's very, very easy. It walks you through.